Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's your boy back at it, Polite Global. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Just a little late night talk. I was chopping it up with my homies, man, and the conversation of escaping the matrix came up. You know, and that's something you hear a lot now. That's like a popular phrase, popular term, popular statement that people say. Oh, I want to escape the matrix. You know, and I feel you. But I was just telling them, man, like, before you start chasing freedom, money, travel, or trying to escape your job, your city, or your circumstance, like, you gotta understand one thing, and that's the matrix. The matrix is not just out there. You know what I mean? The matrix in here. You know, when I said you gotta escape the mental matrix before you escape the physical matrix, like, what you mean? You know, and when you talk about the real matrix, it's not your 9 to 5. It's not the government. It's not Donald Trump. It's not the city you live in. It's your mindset, bro. Like, it's your daily habits. It's your self-doubt, your self-confidence. It's your conditioning. Your daily routine. So you gotta escape that before you even think about a worldly matrix. Like your environment. You gotta escape the matrix mentally and internally in here, cause everybody matrix set up different. I feel like we was told a lot of lies growing up. From school, media, even our loved ones. And I don't think it was done intentionally, at least from our loved ones, but that's all they knew. So even as we was young, they told us, okay, if you want to be successful, if you want to live a good life, finish school, graduate, get your high school diploma, go to college, get a degree, get a good job, play it safe, work 40 years, retire happy, don't dream too big. You don't need a business, you don't need to go to other places where it ain't safe. And that's the prison. That's the mental matrix that I'm talking about. That's the psychological conditioning that you gotta break out of first before you even think about leaving the matrix in America. Like, you gotta break that thought. You gotta break that mentality, because it's other options to live. It's different ways you can live, bro, and people doing it all the time, especially today in 2025. Until you break that mental matrix, changing environments won't help you. You can move to Bali tomorrow, but if you still trapped in fear, scarcity, and routine, you're gonna feel stuck. You're gonna feel scared. You're not gonna know how to move out there because it's a different environment and a different culture. You can move to Jamaica, you can move to the Dominican Republic, you can move to the continent of Africa, but you gotta rewire your mind first, bro, because it's different out there. So you can't go over there with the same mentality, thinking this how it's supposed to go, this how things are supposed to be, because you're not gonna fit in. You're gonna feel out of place. Even if your environment change, like, your environment might change, but if your thinking doesn't, you're just gonna recreate the same cycle no matter where you go in the world, bro. It's gonna be the same things happening to you. You're gonna fall into the same traps. It's not gonna be different, and you're just gonna come home and be like, oh no, that ain't for me, because you're comfortable home, because you've been conditioned in a certain way to where this is where you fit in, and this it makes you feel like this where you need to be. But a lot of people still, like, a lot of people got a lot of dreams and aspirations and all these big things they want to do, but they still trapped mentally, you know what I mean? And they don't even know it. That's the thing about it. Like, they don't even know how trapped mentally they are, you know. Like, I'll give you some signs that you might still be trapped mentally. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, if you feel like you need permission to chase your dreams or do what you want, then you trapped. That could come from your job, that can come from your family, that can come from your loved ones. It's like people feel like they need a certain validation to do something that they want to do with their life. Like, bro, this your life. Sis, this your life. You can do what you want. You know what I mean? As long as your pockets permit and your health permit. Like, it's, especially being an American citizen. I don't know who all watching me, but you know, being an American is a privilege, bro. I don't care what race or color you are. If you got that blue passport, my nigga, man, I ain't about to say nigga. But if you got that blue passport, bro, you can go literally anywhere in the world, anytime you want. As long as you got the money to do it, you know. Of course it costs, but a lot of people around the world can't do that. So if you know, I want to go to Indonesia, I want to go to Bali, I want to go to Turks and Caicos, I want to go to Thailand. But you feel like you gotta validate that with somebody else, or you need a travel partner, or you need to ask your old lady if it's okay if you go with the fellas, or you need to ask your mom if she think it's okay if you, like, that's a trap, bro. Like, you still trapped mentally. You don't feel like I can make this decision on my own. I need to discuss this with somebody and get some kind of validation that it's okay for me to go here. You gotta break out of that mindset, bro. I mean, of course, always move with caution no matter where you are, but I feel like that in America, bro. You know, but that's a topic for another video. Like, I feel safer in a lot of foreign countries than I do in my own hometown. But like I said, I'll talk about that later. But that's just a mental trap, bro. Like, you shouldn't have to feel like you need validation from anybody to go anywhere that you want to go. You know what I mean? You have autonomy over yourself, your body. You know what I mean? You go to work and punch in them hours and do that job and get paid and check in your name. You feel me? I mean, I ain't saying be reckless and avoid responsibilities, especially if you got kids or family that you're taking care of, but I'm just saying, for the most part, bro, like, you don't need permission, you don't need validation from nobody. Sometimes I just up and go, man, and then I tell people where I'm at. You know what I mean? Motherfucker call me and I'm picking up like, yo, what's up? Where you at? Shit, I'm in Thailand. You in Thailand? I didn't even know you was out, man. I've been out here about 2 weeks already, bro. You know what I mean? Like, cause I don't gotta ask nobody to do that shit. It ain't nobody business, you know? It ain't that I'm trying to hide. It's just, like I said, if you call me and we close enough to talk about it, I'll tell you. But it's like, I'm not asking you before I go. I don't feel like I'm not going nowhere until I got somebody to travel with me, you know what I mean? Or I'm not going if my mom don't want me to go, you know what I mean? I'm always listen to her concerns just because, you know, it's all out of love. But, like, I'm going to go where I want to go, bro. It's a free world, you know? So that's one of the main things that you got to do when you talk about breaking out of the mental matrix, you know what I mean? You got to get out of that trap of feeling like you need permission or validation from people to do things, you know what I mean? It might not even be travel. Like, people do this a lot when they're thinking about starting a business. Like, they can't just start it. They can't just, okay, this is the business I want to start. Let me do my research. Let me stack my money, and this is what I'm about to do. No, they got to talk about it first with their friends and their family, and some people gonna encourage them and some people gonna discourage them. Some people gonna tell them, hey, that'll be good for you. Some people gonna tell them how it ain't gonna work, and it's just gonna mix. It's just gonna mess up your mentality, bro. Like, just do it. Win, lose, or it don't matter, man. Like, this not their goal. This your goal. You feel me? So they're not gonna look at it the same way as you're gonna look at it. You might think it's a good idea, and they probably think it's not. But it don't matter what they think, because it's gonna be your business, you know. And like, this shit can apply to anything in life. People, like I said, man, it's just like, people always want validation. Like, hey, what you think about this? What you think if I do this? You know what I mean? Or you want to do this with me? Or, you know? And if somebody say no, it kind of just crush your dreams. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm thinking about going to Dominican Republic next month. I heard it was pretty cool out there. Oh, man, you better be careful, man. They robbing people out there, man. Like, I heard it's dangerous, bro. I heard, you know, if you black out there, they'll be racist to you, or, you know, like, I done been there 10 times, bro, and I love it. That's probably one of the main countries. I don't know yet for sure, but when I think about moving overseas, like, DR in top 5, I'm telling you, bro. Beautiful place, man. Beautiful people. Nice weather, beautiful beaches, good view, food, good music, beautiful women. You know, everywhere got their bad parts, man. Like I said, like, bro, I feel safer in DR than America, man. You gotta exercise caution, you know, like, you can't be walking around with a chain like this and thinking shit sweet. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you know, people cool, bruh. I love DR, man. Anywhere you want to go, man. I want to go to Jamaica. Oh, man, don't go out there, man. They killing people out there, bro. Like, man, they killing people in Chicago. They killing people in South Carolina. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. They unaliving people. You know what I mean? Like, right where I'm from. You know what I mean? So I ain't saying it's all good, but it ain't all bad either. You know, it's all about how you move in the situations you put yourself in, and then at the end of the day, some shit you just don't got no control over, bro. And that's just the truth. You know what I mean? People get killed at work, bro. People get killed at church, at school, man. You know, I think that's the hardest part for people, man. Like, you gotta have patience too. Like, this what I think people mess up, man. It's like, they want to move to another country, quit their job, blow up on YouTube, or make money online overnight. And all those things possible, you know. But without patience, you'll panic. And like I said before, you know, without breaking out of that mental matrix, it ain't, you know, one got to come before the other. That got to come before the physical move. You know what I mean? You got to make the mental move before the physical move, bro. Like, escaping the matrix physically, like leaving your job, leaving the U.S., traveling, getting financially free, that shit take time, man. That shit take time and work, bro, and planning. It's like, you need to prepare first. You know, you gotta have patience. You gotta have a goal. Building skills, learn the game, stack some money up, get your body right. You know what I mean? Exercise, eat better, get your mind right, get your spirit strong, because it's gonna be a lot of tough things that come your way. You know, with leaving and when you get there. You know, because you're going to get a lot of pushback from family and friends and people trying to discourage you from doing what you want to do. Sometimes it's out of hate, sometimes it's out of love, but either way, it don't matter, because it's what you want to do. So even the people trying to discourage you out of love, It's like, I know you coming from a place of love, but you're going against what I want. You know what I mean? So this what I gotta do for me. And the haters, fuck them. You know, they don't even matter. Ain't even need to address that, bro. But bro, and a lot of things that changed my mindset, man, and helped break me out of the mental matrix before I could ever even make a trip anywhere, a physical move, or a business plan or whatever, is like, I don't know, this might sound cliche to y'all, but it's true, man. It works, man. Like, you gotta stop watching and consuming content that numbs your brain, bro. You need to consume and watch content that's productive, something that wakes you up, something that inspires something in you, man. Like, it ain't no shade to nobody, bro, because everybody got to hustle, but you know, I like to laugh, man, but I just don't sit here and watch fucking reels and videos of Drewski and Cassinet and I Show Speed all day, bro. I don't got time for that. I'm not sitting here watching hours of Screamers University or playing the PS5 all day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't got time for that, bro. It's a brain numbing activity, and before you know it, you down a rabbit hole, man, and hours done pass, and you do that shit daily, and it's like weeks and months done pass and years done pass. Like, you just wasting your life and your time, bro. Like, you need to read books that challenge yourself, you know what I mean? Whether it's about money, mindset, purpose, spirituality, you know what I mean? You need to consume content like that, read content like that. Um, you know, another thing is, man, I sat, like, all the pain that I felt inside, bro, I sat with it and I faced it head on instead of trying to avoid it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody got their own situation. I ain't gonna go too deep into mine. Not on this particular video. Maybe later on in the channel we'll get a little more personal. But you know, I grew up, bro, like, shit was hard, man. You know, single mother home, you know, the typical statistical black male situation, you know what I mean? According to American statistics, I should have been in jail right now or dead, or had like 4 or 5 kids that I can't take care of. But you know, I ain't saying I'm smarter than nobody. I think I'm lucky and blessed because I was around every scenario that could have led to that, every situation that could have led to that, you know. But I ain't even gonna get too deep into that. You know, grow up without a father, single mother home, not much money, in bad environments, around bad crowds, doing drugs, partying a lot. Like, I could have fit any statistic, you know. And that's why I don't judge people, bro, because I know I ain't better than nobody. Some people just got caught and some didn't. I was lucky, bro. I wasn't smarter than nobody in my crew. I was lucky, bro. Like, all the homies that I grew up with, that's either dead, in jail, or in a rough situation in life right now, I was doing everything they was doing, probably more. So God bless me, man. And I always try to remain humble and remember that. But I started really analyzing my life and analyzing myself, man, and, you know, facing my own traumas and pain and sitting with it, you know, not putting it off on nobody else, not saying I went through this because of this person or because of this person, it was your fault. Like, no, I take full responsibility for everything bad that happened in my life. Even if I didn't do it, I put myself in that position, I put myself around that person, you know what I mean? And I take responsibility for it, you know what I mean? And I started working out, man. You know, I found myself starting to get lazy and eating a lot, just smoking weed, man, just bullshitting, low energy, low moods, and I started exercising, man. Now I love to work out. I used to dread going to the gym, like it was something I had to do, but I didn't want to do it. But now I feel bad if I skip 2 or 3 days. Like, damn, I need to work out, you know? Like, it's a habit now, but you gotta do it for a certain amount of time for it to become that, you know? Them first couple of weeks, them first month, like that first month or two gonna hurt, bro. But after you do it for that long, consistently, it's gonna become a habit. You know, it's gonna become part of your daily routine, and you're gonna start seeing results. Not just physically, bro, but mentally, man. Like, you're gonna feel better. You know what I mean? You're gonna feel better about yourself. You're gonna feel better internally. But you know, with a combination of all those things, man, like dealing with your pain and your trauma and really facing it head on and analyzing your life and the situation that you're in and what got you there, which is most likely probably yourself, reading, consuming content that's good for you and productive, and cutting out all that bullshit, you know what I mean, eating healthy, working out. Over time, that fog gonna start to clear. You know what I mean? You're gonna start thinking clearer. You're gonna start looking clearer. You're gonna start looking better. You know what I mean? And it's gonna change the way you think. It's gonna change the way you start seeing life, and it's gonna change the way you start seeing your environment. And that's when you're ready to escape the physical matrix, because you're gonna notice those changes in your mentality, and that's when you know, damn, you're gonna see shit way clearer. Like, damn, I love you, bro, but you really ain't my friend. You know what I mean? Like, I fuck with you, shawty, but you really ain't the girl for me. You know what I mean? I love my city, but this not the place that I need to be. That's when you know you done escaped the mental matrix. And that's when you know it's time to escape the physical matrix, because you're going to start looking at everything different around you, and you're not going to fit in, because the new lifestyle that you've adapted, the new mentality that you've adapted, it cannot coexist with your old lifestyle, your old mentality, because either you're going to stay there and get sucked back into it, or you can leave and progress in life and go on to another journey, you know. I hope y'all understand what I'm trying to say. You know, getting rid of that fear, getting out your comfort zone, getting a different perspective on the environment you're around, the people you're around, clearing your mind, making your body healthy, consuming good content, whether it's books, media, or social media, you know what I mean, finance, whatever. And you're going to start seeing the world different. You're going to start seeing the people around you different. You're going to know. You're going to feel it in your heart. You're going to feel it in your soul, bro. I need to change my environment because it's not conducive to where I want to go in life. I need to change my environment because the life that I want to live cannot coexist with the life that I came from. And that's when you're ready to leave. That's when you're ready to escape the physical matrix. That's when you're ready to move to another state, move to another city, or move to another country, you know. But it all starts in here, bro. It all starts in here, bro. Real talk. People gonna say you acting different, you acting funny, or you think you're better than us, and that's just manipulation, bro. You know, because sometimes it works, sometimes it'll make you feel bad. Like, damn, it ain't even like that, bro. It really ain't, but I don't think I'm better than you at all, but I know we different, or at least I'm different now. Maybe we was the same at one point, but I know I'm different. I feel different. I think different. You know what I mean? And I can see from the few conversations we had lately that you don't feel me. You know what I mean? Like we ain't on the same page, so somebody gonna have to sacrifice. And it ain't even no need for that, cause if you ain't ready, I ain't going back. So we gonna have to part ways, bro. I still got homies. You know, I still call them homies, bro. But I don't really talk to them on a day to day. But if I run into them right now, it's all love. But I know that we can't really kick it like that. You know what I mean? Not too long anyway, how we used to. But that's all I got, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Hit the like button if if you're in the process of, escaping or trying to change your environment, your mentality. Drop a comment below. Let me know what's the biggest lie you had to unlearn. Let me know what's the biggest hurdle you had to overcome to escape bad situations or bad environments, man. I want to hear what y'all been through too. I want to hear what you did to escape the matrix or the mental trap that a lot of society try to keep us in. You know, let me know what y'all think, man. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video. Peace.